Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams, back once again with another 24/7 news report. We start this news report with our headline news, and our headline news is that Everton have got an interest in Newcastle winger Alan Saint-Maximin. Everton could make a 50 million bid for the French winger if Real Madrid come in for Richarlison. This has come via the Mirror. For me, he's a very good player. He's probably one of the select few in Newcastle I'd actually like. I think the goalkeeper is quite good, Dubravka, and a couple more here or there. But Alan Saint-Maximin is the main star in that squad, and I think Newcastle fans would agree with that. He's very good, he's very fast, he's very skillful. He wears the Gucci headband, he's got a lot of flair. And he also did a kip-up I saw, I think it was 2 seasons ago when he was knocked out, and it was fantastic when he was knocked off the pitch. But he is a really skillful winger, more importantly. And would certainly add if Richarlison left. I mean, 50 million for me, I'd rather go to Rennes and see if they will sell Doku, who's had a very good Euros. But Alan Saint-Maximin's Prem proven, he's very good starlet. This was always going to happen when Rafa came to Everton. You know, that he was going to go back and cherry pick from the last Premier League team he'd managed. So we'll have to wait here or there on whether this is actual, got legs, or if it's just hearsay because Rafa managed Newcastle and he's now managing Everton and, Prem links. So we'll have to wait and see. Rafa Benitez does want to keep Moise Kean this summer, and he will not be willing to let him leave Everton on loan. This has come from Fabrizio Romano via the Here We Go pod. This makes a lot of sense. We've said this a lot on the pod, that Everton, on the channel, that Everton weren't going to let him go for a loan deal. I think that's the right choice. If PSG want him that badly, they need to put the money up, and I know Moise Kean will want to go, but at the end of the day, if they want you that badly, they will put the money up. If they're not willing to, they don't want you that badly. That's the cold, harsh reality of it. I mean, and I'm all for giving him another chance at Everton. I said on the channel, I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. I think he's a winger, playing off a striker, because his first touch was abysmal. It might have improved while he was in France, but it was abysmal against the likes of Salford. So he needs to up his game slightly in his hold-up play. But he's very fast, skillful, and clearly knows where the net is. So I think playing as a winger, inside forward, might be the way forward. And that's where he played for Juventus as well. So it makes a lot of sense. Thierry Small's his professional contract at Everton is still on the table. The left-back's had interest from a number of clubs, including Arsenal and United. It's still unclear what his decision will be at this stage, and that's come by the Liverpool Echo. I hope he stays. I think there was a picture of him wearing a different kit. I think it was a Leicester kit a couple of weeks ago, and people went a bit... but I think that was just his friend. He's got friends in the Leicester squad who gave him kits. They do it all the time. Alex Iwobi gives out an Everton kit to everyone. So wouldn't read too much into that. Hopefully he can stay though. He looked good. He's meant to be quite promising. I mean, he looks to be quite promising. Everton have always had a good deal with left backs. We've got Nkunku at the minute, who I think is going to stay. There were rumours he was going to leave. I think he's going to stay, and I think Thierry Small might stay. He's got a lot of promise around Thierry Small. There's a lot of build behind him, and a lot of people, a lot of plaudits. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we can, because if there's one thing Everton Football Club do really well, it's left backs. Leighton Baines, Luca Dean. We need someone to process that after him. We don't struggle with the left back option. Even our backups have always been quite. Brian Oviedo was a good backup, and like I say, he's not in the same category as Dean and Baines, but he was a good backup. We also have that West Ham, Atletico Madrid, Lille and Real Sociedad are interested in former Everton keeper Robin Olsen. The Swedish keeper is not wanted at Roma, and that could come via AS. Didn't hear our names there. I don't think we will go for him. I think Rafa is after that Golinho, and I think ultimately that'll probably be who we get, or Romero from United. He was linked before we got him, and that's I would take Olsen, but Romero I think we could get for a lot cheaper, so that makes I think he's a free, so that makes a lot of sense. And he's Prem proven, although Olsen is Prem proven, and I don't think you need to be Prem proven for a goalkeeper. You just need to be able to stop shots. And whoever we get will always be a backup to Pickford anyway, just to challenge him. So I wouldn't read, whoever we sign isn't going to go straight into that, the number one spot. Jordan Pickford's going to have that for some time, I think. Especially the way he's developing. He's had a great Euros, and he's representing his country in the Euros final today. you can't get rid of England's number one, and he's Everton's number one, and he has had a great season and a great Euros. Everton are interested in Chelsea's Kurt Zouma. The French defender is expected to leave this summer. Tottenham are also interested. Zouma has rejected an offer from Wolves, and this has come from Julian Maynard. We'd all love to see Happy Zouma back at the club, I'm sure. He had a really good spell at the club, and I was gutted that we couldn't keep him after his loan spell. Obviously, he was promised first team football and wanted to go to the Euros, which he didn't do. And the world, he wants to represent his country, but he's not getting the game time he was promised at Chelsea, so he was a bit burnt there. I'd be happy for him back. I don't think a defender's the position we need to improve on, but Rafa clearly does, because all we're linked with is defenders. I thought we'd had plenty, but apparently he's not keen on Yerry Mina, so maybe this is a replacement. Zuma's a lot faster than Yerry Mina. He's still quite a physical presence, not as tall as Mina, but still, a physical lad, pushes his weight around, and he's rapid. I would really be happy to see Zouma come back if the price was right. We also have that Everton are welcoming Tony Duggan back to the club. She signed a 2-year deal with the Blues. This is great for the women's team, who are really making moves in this window. And it's great to see Tony Duggan back, isn't it? She's played City, Barcelona. It's great to see her back at Everton. Speaking of the team making progress, we also know that the Everton ladies welcome Anna Avegard. The Sweden forward joins the team on another 2-year deal. And she's also joined by Nathalie Bijon. The Swedish joins up with the Everton team on a 3-year deal from Rosengard for an undisclosed fee. It's good to see the women's team are making severe improvements. The women's team is always quite a good football team. I covered them a little bit for uni last year, and for our site I write for, specialising on women's football. And Everton's women's team are a really good team. They've got a really good setup. They've got a lot of good talent there, and it's good to see them improving and taking the women's side seriously. I think it could be a real, really compete in the WSL next season. Especially with these transfers, and the fact Tony Duggan's back at the club is quite nice. We also have some news regarding Richarlison. Fabrizio Romano said on his Twitch channel, there is nothing between Real Madrid and Richarlison. Everton and Rafa Benitez are convinced the Brazilian will stay for at least one more season. So with that being in tow, we probably won't get Alan Saint-Maximin if he's going to stay another season. I'm quite happy to see him stay. I know a couple of you aren't, saying get rid, he's lazy, he's not got the right attitude. But for me, he's a very good player, and he does help defensively. His defensive stats are fantastic for a winger. If you replace him, we will see, especially with somewhat certain wingers, you will see defensively we won't be as good because they won't track back, because wingers, predominantly want to attack, and that's fine. Richarlison wants to put in his defensive work, and I know the attitude problem, and I know exactly what people mean. He never looks happy, but for me, I like to think of that as he's that driven. Like, if he's not happy because he knows he can do better, the team could do better. I think it's more of a, I'm not happy because we should be doing better, and I think that's a driven, personality that we need in the squad. We need somebody who's going to go, this isn't good enough. He's happy when he scores, and that's brilliant. But, when we're stuck in a rut, he's got a face on. And he does try. If he dropped his head and had a face on, I'd be a bit like, But he puts in the performances and has a face on. And I think that just shows that he's driven and he doesn't want to lose. And having that type of mentality, a winner's mentality in the squad, for me, is always going to help. We could probably do with a couple more winning mentalities like that. We also have the news via Accrington Stanley, who broke it before Everton. That Everton beat Accrington Stanley 3-0 yesterday in a friendly. It was behind closed doors at Finch Farm. Tom Cannon, Lewis Gibson and Anthony Gordon scored in the 3-0 win. It's good to see the youngsters getting a game. Apparently Benitez gave everyone a game. Sigurdsson got an assist. Shabamin got a really good assist that's doing the rounds on Twitter. It's really good to see the youngsters getting a game. I'd like to see what this season holds for Anthony Gordon. Obviously his loan at Preston didn't work out. I thought he showed good signs, but Ancelotti didn't like him. Maybe he's doing enough to show Benitez that he's worth, at least getting some game time, more than Ancelotti was giving him. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And finally, sadly, we'd like to say rest in peace to former Everton player Jimmy Gabriel, who has sadly passed away at the age of 80. Jimmy won a league and FA Cup during his 7 years playing for Everton in 1960 to 67, and returned as a coach in the 90s before stepping in as a caretaker twice. And we want to say rest in peace and offer our condolences to his family at this difficult time. We'd also like to mention that unfortunately, Richarlison lost the Copa America final last night, 1-0 to Argentina, the goal coming via Di Maria. Richarlison's won it before though, although Liverpool fans won't have you believe that on Twitter. It's a very weird situation, but he has won it before, but still, losing a final's never great, and it is tough on him. Hopefully he can bounce back, go on and make a real storm at the Olympics. I'd like to say win, but that obviously means Team GB losing, so but hopefully he has a really good Olympics, and obviously condolences as well to Richarlison for losing, the final. It must be tough. Thierry Small looked a lot more in spirits when they won third place the other day. But yeah, we'd also like to say that the new kit's been released. It's a very smart looking kit. I like the design of it. I really like the training kits as well, and I like the keeper's kit. It's a throwback. Hummel are doing very well to throw back to Everton kits of past. But the kit has been released, and if you want it, you can pre-order the kit. And you can do so through a link that will be in the first comment on this YouTube video. Do it through there. It helps the channel. It helps us at the channel. It's all for good stuff, and the kit does look really nice. It looks really smart. I quite like the home kit this year. Obviously there's always restraints on what you can do to a home kit, but I think it looks quite nice. I'm excited to see what they do with the third kit now. That's the last one that will come, and it will come because it's a money grab, but it's always a nice, unique money grab. But that is all the news I've got time for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share it down below, comment on anything that I've spoke about. Would you take Saint-Maximin? Is Maxim for Richarlison the right deal? What do you think about Tony Duggan coming back, and how do you think the women's team can do next year? I think they can do promising things. Do you like the new kit? I think it's quite nice. Let us know down below. And yeah. You can follow me and the Toffee Blues on Twitter. Our links are in the description down below. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the Euros. England. Enjoy the Euros. And just take care, guys.